GIS data are referred to as models because they represent actual real-world objects, so it's important that they model the real world as accurately as possible. Often GIS datasets will have thousands of features, so it can be really challenging to verify the quality of such large datasets simply by visual means alone. Using topology rules, we can test our data and ensure that it's well constructed. In this task, I'll use the Topology Rules plugin to investigate the quality of two datasets, the bus routes and bus stops. Here I've got QGIS Desktop open, and the parcels are the green polygons, the bus routes are the black lines, and the blue points are the bus stops. First thing I need to do is enable the Topology Checker plugin. So I'm going to go to the Plugins menu to manage and install plugins. You can check the installed plugins to see if it's already there. If it has not been installed, simply go to the All tab, begin typing Topology into the search bar until you find the plugin, and then you can install it. Since I already have this plugin installed, I'm simply going to check the box to enable it and click Close. And the plugin manifests itself here as a single button. So first I'm going to investigate the integrity of the bus stops layer. So I'm going to click the Topology Checker button. Once I click the button, a Topology Checker panel opens up on the right-hand side. This is another dockable window, so I can move this and dock it where I want it to be. I'll leave it there on the right. So to start, I'll click the Configure button. Under Current Rules, I'll choose Bus Stops as my layer. And once I pick a layer, I get a series of topological rules. There are rules for points, lines, and polygons, so this list will change depending on the layer that you've chosen. Here I want to test for duplicate geometries. So I'm going to choose must not have duplicates as my rule and simply hit the add rule button to create this topological rule. So this will check to make sure there are no stacked points. In other words, a bus stop situated directly over another. And this type of error is really difficult to identify without a topology rule. If I don't do it this way, I have to just manually go through and check with the identify tool or the select tool each bus stop to see if there is a stacked point or not. So it's very difficult. So it's a very handy tool. So I'll click OK. And then I simply click the Validate All button. The Topology Checker finds 3 occurrences of violating this topological rule. The 3 are shown here on the right with their feature IDs, and on the map they're highlighted in red. I should note too, I clicked Validate All. I can also, if I'm zoomed into a certain part of my data set, I can choose to just validate the topology within the current extent. Now that these errors have been identified, they'd be fairly easy to fix. I'd simply toggle on editing for the bus stop layer, select the duplicates by their feature ID, and delete them, and toggle back out of editing, saving my edits, and that would be taken care of. Now I'm going to examine the bus routes. So I'm going to click the Configure button again. I'm going to select this pre-existing rule and delete it, and start over with bus routes. We'll see a different list of topological rules to test for, and I'm going to choose must not have dangles. This will check for endpoints of a line. And you might expect that since these data are only a portion of an urban area, and there are bus routes heading off into space offside the map, that those dangling endpoints will be identified. However, there shouldn't be any dangles within the network itself. So I'll click the Add Rule button and click OK. And again, click Validate All. And it runs through and it finds 25 cases of this error. Many are the expected ones at the periphery of the map where the roads are heading off, but there are several errors in the middle of the network as well. So let me zoom in and investigate a few of those. If I zoom in tightly to some of these, you'll see that there's actually a very minute break in the bus route line. This likely is an error. It likely shouldn't be there. So this would be something that would have to be fixed. And it would simply be a matter of going into an edit session for those routes and connecting those two lines together. In the next task, we'll continue to investigate the integrity of the data with additional topological rules, looking at the parcel data set.